Hi, I'm Brad Smart, and the title of this top grading article is Top Grading Could Save Over $300 billion. For years, our top grading team has wanted to estimate how much the United States economy and economies all over the world might benefit if top grading was universal. Here's our first attempt, which focuses just on the U.S. economy. Let's begin by reviewing some statistics. First, there were approximately 51 million people hired across all industries in the U.S. in 2011. The source of that statistic is mentioned in the article itself. Next, 10% of all hires in 2011 were managers, but sorry, we haven't found reliable statistics, so this is just a guess based on our client populations. About 10% of their employees are categorized as managers. So let's assume there were approximately 5.1 million managers hired in the U.S. in 2011. Next, the average salary of, quote, managers is approximately $59,000. Again, the source of that statistic is cited in the article. Next, 25% of managers hired turn out to be serious mishires, C players. This stat comes from decades of our informal research, asking tens of thousands of managers about their hiring success rates in every job, and performing hundreds of surveys during our top grading workshops. And the source of that stat comes from reviewing dozens of published case studies. Finally, the cost of mishiring a C player is very conservatively estimated to be 5 times their base pay. So 5 times $59,000 equals $295,000. That is the average cost of a seriously mishired manager, a C player. By the way, our cost of mishire studies show a range from 5 times salary for a sales rep to 15 times salary for upper mid managers to the cost of mishiring someone 27 times salary when the sample was managers including highly paid presidents and CEOs. So we took the most conservative level, 5 times pay. So putting this all together, what did we come up with? Here's what we come up with. The cost of mishired C player managers is $384 billion annually. Okay, 25% of the 5.1 million managers hired equals 1.3 C player managers hired, or rather mishired. And the 1.3 million C players times $295,000 equals $384 billion. And that is the cost of mishiring C player managers in the U.S. using 2011 statistics. But is $384 billion as a cost to businesses too high or too low? After all, top grading does not assure 100% A players are hired. However, companies do experience phenomenal success using top grading. For example, the 40 named case studies in the third edition of Top Grading improved their hiring success from 26% to 85% high performers hired. So we can't assume if every company top graded 0 C player managers would be hired. Let's be on the conservative side and say, well, let's just take 80% of the cost savings. 80% of $384 billion is $307 billion. On the other hand, top graders don't just consider C player managers to be mishires. B players without potential to become high performers are also considered mishires. If the top grading bar is set to hiring A players, wow, perhaps we can envision the cost of mishired Bs and Cs as twice the $307 billion, or maybe it's $600 billion. And what about the workers? 51 million hired in 2011 minus 5.1 million managers equals approximately 46 million workers, many of whom are mishired. What about the cost of mishiring workers? What would be the value to companies of tripling their success hiring workers too? Well, we're not going to answer all that in this article, but these are the questions we're asking. Here's a summary using some solid statistics plus some educated guesses. It appears that if all companies in the United States use top grading methods to just avoid hiring C player managers, and if they enjoyed typical top grading results, the savings to those companies could be over $300 billion. And it could be twice that, maybe $600 billion, if the bar was set so high that only A player managers were hired, as top grading companies do. And finally, the savings could be a lot more if, as many companies do, U.S. companies top graded all jobs. Stay tuned for some more educated guesses in the future. And until next time, top grade your staff, top grade your company, top grade your team, and you will top grade your profits.